At Blackfoot Communications, our mission is to connect people, businesses, and communities to their networks in Montana and beyond. Through Blackfoot sponsorships, local ambassadors, and public programs, we support initiatives such as the Emergency Broadband Benefit, fiber deployments, and community events. For information on our commitment to improving our communities with fast, reliable, and secure internet access, go to blackfootcommunications.com/news.
They were looking to make an unprecedented run. They were champs in this calendar year, and to do that, to continue this run, that's really hard to do. And we were fortunate to come down here and beat them. Beat a very good team, a very good program. A lot of winners on that on the opposite side. And our guys, weren't intimidated by their success, but knew we needed to play really well in all phases. And obviously, getting out to a great start was a big part of that. We knew we had to outrush them, win the turnover margin, and really limit their explosives and make some explosive ourselves. And I think we did all three of those, probably better than we have collectively in a game in a while. So, credit to our guys and just their resolve. And you heard it. Listen to all three guys. This group's really close. They've been through a lot. And not just yesterday trying to get here. They've been through a lot. You think back 2 years ago, they were in the semifinals. And, 2020, everybody dealt with that. But then on top of that, 2021 turns around and they get a coaching change. They're not going to play. But it was evident from the time that I got to Bozeman in February that this group was determined to take that next step. And now we're back, I guess, where they were in 19. And back at home and with a shot to, take another step as a program. So couldn't be happier for our guys, and with that, I'll open it up.
How about the determination of the group? How much does that help when you do have a challenge like coming here, a place they've never lost a home playoff game and number one ranking next to their name? I mean, how much does just that closeness to maturity of these guys help in that element?
I think the one thing this group has done every week, it really hasn't mattered who we play, where, when, all that stuff, and they've really bought into that. And every week hasn't been perfect by any means, but as far as our effort, the way we prepare, you heard Daniel talk about it, that Monday through Friday, that's what wins you games. And just to appreciate our guys understanding that. And it's an easy task to take on when you are truly playing for one another. We have great continuity on this team, great leadership, a whole heck of a lot of seniors that want this thing to keep going. And, they're the ones in a lot of cases out there making a ton of plays, and that's just great to see. And, our younger players are continuing to come along and lift them up as well.
What kind of inspired that decision to do that first touchdown play, the Philly special type play?
Well, it was a play that we had in this week, and, Coach Housewright asked, should I save it? I said, you just got to run it when you get an opportunity. You don't know when those opportunities are going to present themselves. We were, I think, second and goal. It was as good a time as ever, and got the score on the board. I know Willie said he was a high school quarterback, but get it there. No, it was a good call, and one thing, we didn't kick any field goals today. We've found a way to get the ball in the end zone, and against a really good team, against a really good defense that makes things very hard on you. And we knew we'd have to throw the ball, and we threw it very effectively today, and that's a credit to Tommy. It's our protection, and it's the guys making plays. Lance, Willie, Nate Stewart. We made a ton of plays on the perimeter today.
Have you coached a quarterback or a player who's had a receiving, rushing, and passing touchdown in a game before?
Boy, I know Josh caught one time. So if he threw one and ran for one that same night, I don't know. But yeah, if it happened once maybe. So pretty rare.
You guys haven't been shy about taking deep shots, but the fact that you hit 3, 4, 5 in a row, how much momentum do you think that gave you?
Well, it was huge, and Lance has made plays over and over again. So Lance makes it, then Nate makes it. It becomes contagious, and that's been awesome to get Nate back rolling and to see him make some plays tonight. And he got interfered with, I think, in that first sequence. And Willie's he's made plays off and on, but to see him get a couple opportunities tonight, it was Yeah, I mean, we needed all those guys, and I think that it was evident that Tommy's got confidence, and I thought he threw the ball really well. It wasn't like those had to be circus catches. He put the ball where it needed to be, and those guys made the plays.
Did you see something you could take advantage of there too? Especially since Sam used to play so much man on the outside.
They're just ultra aggressive. Yeah. They're a heavy man-to-man team, and they're going to try to plus one you in the box. And we knew that, they were going to make rushing the football hard, and we would have to throw the football. We couldn't, we couldn't be one-dimensional whatsoever either way. You know what I mean? So the fact that we were able to create that balance, I looked at the scoreboard. I think we had 150 yards in the first quarter. Now that we didn't keep that pace up with some of the turnovers, but that was the kind of start we needed, and it was a collective effort on all ends.
With Sam Houston being so well balanced, how do you feel like your defense did to only limit them to 19 points?
Well, it's a tribute to those guys and their effort on Saturday, but all the way through the week and really preparing. That's a team that has tons of weapons. A quarterback that can make a lot of plays, and he made some. And certainly they made some plays out in the perimeter, but we really negated their rushing game. That was going to be so big, and we got anytime you get ahead like we did tonight, a couple scores. They're gonna probably shy away from it. So there was a lot of things that go into that. We played like crazy on defense. Offensively, we took a lead. We made them not entirely one-dimensional, but we certainly changed them a little bit, and it all worked out.
The run heavy and relying on defense, that's kind of a formula you had at North Dakota State winning national championships. So do you feel like that's really kind of the way you gotta go about winning a title?
Well, it's not super complicated to say it, but it's really hard to do. If you can, in particular, and that's what I credit Sam Houston. They found a way to get to that point where they could run it and they could defend it, and that got them a championship in the spring. And that's what we wanted to be about: be able to run it, defend it, turn it over, take it away, protect the heck out of it. We did all those things tonight, and maybe whether we surprised them or not, I don't know. I mean, we didn't feel like this was a shock the world effort that we would need, but that was a good team we beat. I know that much.
Specifically, your pass defense. You played some pretty good quarterbacks this year. What is it about your pass defense that kind of sets you guys up for success?
Well, it's really good up front. We can get after quarterbacks with four guys, and we've been able to do that pretty consistently. So then that allows you to do an array of things on the back end from a coverage perspective, mixing up coverage, disguising coverage. We're not, we don't have to blitz all the time, but then we can blitz from time to time and really be effective there. I think we throw a lot of different things at a quarterback, at an offensive line, at an offensive coordinator for that matter, but it all starts with our ability to get after the quarterback with four guys. And, we've been able to do that pretty consistently all year, and we gotta do it next week and see if we can live to fight another day then.
Isaiah set the single season record for MSU for rushing yards in the season. Just how special is it to see him accomplish that?
Yeah, that's awesome. I guess I wasn't aware of that, but he's been there every week, and then you going against a lot of situations where they're stacking boxes and felt like they would crack. It took a long time for them to crack, so he popped that last one. But just appreciate who he is as a team player. We're getting everything we can out of Isaiah. And he's getting such a bulk of the carries, and that's maybe not ideal. We balanced him out through the course of the regular season. Come playoff time, he's going to have to become a big time player, and like he has these 2 weeks, and just appreciate his efforts so much.
You mentioned the flight delay yesterday, obviously injuries today, a lot of stuff that happened in the previous weeks. Just what does that kind of say just about your team and the ability to overcome some obstacles?
Yeah, that happens yesterday, and we tell the guys, hey, here's our plan. We're going to leave a little later. Okay. That's the way our guys handle it, and we certainly appreciate the airport helping us out, Ribbon Shop helping us out. I mean, they made some things happen there because we couldn't get back to campus, but our guys didn't flinch. They're so coachable. You communicate with them, you tell them, what your expectations are, how we're going to do things, and they go do it. And whether that's simple instructions yesterday in the airport, or just how are we going to win this football game? Hey, here's what we need to do, and they go do it. And we haven't been perfect by any means, but the bond for them is so strong, and then their willingness to take a new coaching staff on and really work with us, and get to this point. That all that credit goes to those players, and they're just resolve and belief in one another, and then they want to make this thing go as long as they can.
How special is that to score receiving, rushing, and throwing?
Yeah, after the first quarter, I kind of got to the sideline, talked to Tucker and Casey, and they brought it up, and I didn't even realize it, but that was pretty special. Just goes to the game plan, goes to the guys up front, goes to the receivers. They made a ton of plays for me all night long, and I just happened to be the guy that was in the end zone. So really exciting though.
Have you done that before?
No, I don't believe so.
And the first one, obviously, the Philly special looked like how exciting was that play before and then when you caught it?
Yeah, we've been working it a little bit all week long. Got down there on the first drive, and we were playing with house money tonight. Coach Housewright called that play, and we got in the huddle and we knew what we had to do. We were practicing all week, and really had a great pass. It really worked out great, so I don't know, it was pretty special. It was pretty cool.
What kind of inspired that play to draw it up? And you said you had only been working on it this week. It wasn't like a season-long thing?
Yeah, obviously coming down here, coming to Texas, coming to their home, number one team in the nation. We had to make sure, we had some things drawn up. We just thought that'd be a great opportunity. Obviously, I've been, playing receiver, running back, whatever. So, thought they could use me in that way, and that's what they decided to do. So.
You mentioned playing with house money. Just what was your guys' mindset coming into this game? Because you guys play with a ton of confidence.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think anyone outside of Bozeman, Montana, really believed in us to come down here and knock these guys off after being an undefeated calendar year. So, but we we just trust in each other. We believe in each other, and just going out there, we knew what we had to do. We'd been practicing really hard. Great weather tonight. Obviously blessed with that. Just executed.
You guys have taken deep shots early in games a lot, but to hit the first couple, how much momentum was that given offense?
Oh, it was huge. I think that was an emphasis for this game plan. But it just goes to credit those wide receivers. A lot of man this week. Gave them a couple chances, and they went and made plays for me.
How important was the start for you guys to be able to get a couple turnovers and able to punch those in and jump out quick?
Oh, it was huge. Our defense, great turnover ratio tonight. They were all over them. They're one of the top offenses in the nation, and our defense, kept them at bay all night long. Got a couple turnovers off the beginning and really got our momentum going. So it was huge.
They got the score right before half, and then they scored right out of halftime as well. So how big was it then to get the touchdown to Lance? Can you just take us through that, especially when you're pinned all the way back on the 1 yard line?
Yeah, for sure. When we came back out from halftime, we knew what we had to do. We knew that these guys weren't going to be, shut out the entire game. Obviously, we believe in our defense. But on the offensive side, we had to keep that mindset that we had to keep going down and scoring. And obviously, Lance made a huge play for me. And then, went off and scored. So it was pretty special.
The play after Trey's interception, you throw, just a really good pass. How good did that sequence feel, and especially the throw right there, right in the pocket?
Yeah, it was huge. 7-0, got the ball back, went and scored again. Willie made a great play. Those aren't easy. I know firsthand. So, just man coverage, gave him a shot, and he made the play for me. So, getting up right off the bat, that was huge.
Tommy, as soon as the clock hit 0, how were you feeling, and how excited are you and your team right now? Take us inside the locker room.
Yeah, I think obviously everyone is ecstatic to continue to keep having the opportunity to play. That's what we work all year round for. We are only guaranteed 10 opportunities, and we're just fighting for more. So we can't wait to get back to Bozeman and play South Dakota State there. So.
You mentioned that you dreamed about playing quarterback for the Bobcats your whole life. So what's this moment like for you?
Yeah, it's I think a couple months from now I'll look back and maybe have a different perspective for it. But right now, we've been working for 20 weeks, or so, and then plus throughout the entire summer. So, just keeping on that wave and not let my emotions go up or down. Just continuing to do what the team needs. So.
All right, thanks, Tom.
in general? How good is this feeling right now?
I mean, it was a huge win for us. We all feel really good. We're excited. Came down here and got a big win against the #1 team, and so we're all really excited. We're happy with the way we played and excited to get one more chance to play it back at home.
They're #1 in the country. They haven't lost in 23 straight games. They've never lost here in the playoffs ever. So how'd you guys have so much confidence coming down here?
I mean, really, all the pressure is on them. Once you keep winning, there's pressure's always with them. Is, when are they going to lose? How long are you going to keep that win streak? And so we just came down here, executed our game plan. All 3 phases of the game, and we didn't really have any pressure. Just came out, like you said, extra confident.
What'd you think of your new quarterback?
I mean, I love having Tommy out there. He's a great athlete. He throws a nice ball, and he's able to make plays with his feet. You guys have seen that from week to week, and he's getting better every week. As a young guy that he is, and just happy to have him out there.
What did you and the seniors say to the team before you ran out onto the field and started playing?
Kind of just the same thing it's been every playoff game. This could be our last game. We don't want it to be our last. And just come out here, execute your plays, do your 1/11th, and if everyone does that, we'll like the outcome.
You guys got here later than you wanted to yesterday. Did that have a mental drain at all, or is it easy to shake off?
I mean, it was a night game, so it wasn't too bad. But every great team is going to handle adversity. And, it's how you handle that adversity. And so we all just hung out at the airport, for a couple extra hours. It was whatever, just hung out with each other, and then came down here and just kind of forgot about it, honestly.
And then just in other adversity, injuries too. I mean, what is it about this team that you think that is able to kind of overcome some of these obstacles you had, especially in recent weeks?
I just say there's a strong brotherhood within this team. We're all going to fight for each other. We're all going to play for each other. And, no one wants to let each other down. And I think that's the biggest thing. Whether, you're hurt or not, everyone's going to fight because, you want to be out there, with your brother.
You guys have taken deep shots throughout this year, but that's the first time you've hit like 4 or 5 in a row. So how much momentum does that give you when you're able to hit them and stack them on top of each other like that?
I mean, yeah, like you said, just gives the whole team momentum and energy, and whenever we're given the opportunity to go down the field and catch the ball, and Tommy, like I said, Tommy throws a nice ball. He gave us opportunities, gave us chances to go up there and catch it, and we're just, whether we can get in the end zone or not, we're just providing a spark for this offense and the rest of this team.
Playoffs are going back to Bozeman, so as a Bozeman guy, how do you feel?
Oh, it's amazing. I didn't think we'd have the chance to go back and play in Bobcat Stadium, to have everything, shape up the way it did, and us getting this huge win tonight. It's a great feeling to go back to Bozeman.
Sack on 4th down at the end of the game.
It felt good. Credit to them. They have a really good team. They were doing a good job of making things difficult for me all day. So to finally be able to get through and get one, it was nice. And especially be able to help the team out in a situation like that. It felt really, really good. We dream of situations like that, especially on the D line. And just to have that happen, it was amazing.
Chase goes down early, but a bunch of other guys stepped up. So what'd you think of some of those guys, particularly guys like Brody Grebe and Ben Seymour? They seem to play really well.
Obviously Chase is a huge loss, but the only thing I have to say about that is, those guys are, everybody looks at those guys like they're backups. Those dudes are starters. They take real reps every game. They're just as important to the team as anybody else, and, we expect them to make plays like that, and we know they're capable of doing that. I got nothing but love for those guys, and I'm, happy to see how they develop as players.
Isaiah, kind of cherry on top there, had that touchdown, and that gave him the record for a single season. I mean, just how cool is it to see, especially him kind of, be able to have that kind of a season?
That's great. Me and Isaiah were roommates in the dorms, so that's like my bro right there, and love seeing. And, obviously he's a teammate, but we're pretty close, so just love seeing success from my brothers. We come out here, pour our souls into this thing, and to see the hard work pay off is amazing.
When you see that #1 ranking next to the team that you're playing, how much does that motivate you? What was the preparation like this week, getting ready to take on the defending national champs?
Obviously, we knew we had a challenge ahead of us, but at the same time, like I say every time I talk to you guys, man, it's the same process over and over and over again. It wouldn't matter if we were playing Alabama or a middle school. So you know, watched film, did the preparation, you know, made sure we did the work on the front end. You don't win games on Saturday, you win them Monday through Friday. So I think we did a great job at doing that, and you know, credit to our coaches for having us prepared.
What does it mean to be back for semifinals, to have another shot, and to do it at Bobcat Stadium?
I love Bobcat Stadium. I love our fans, and I'm so happy we got to be able to play another game in front of them. It was a little bittersweet moment, you know, our last game against UT Martin, because, you know, kind of feeling like that was our last home game. But, you know, it's going to be amazing to get back in front of our, you know, diehard fans. Love those guys to death, and, you know, we'll be looking to put on a show.
From a defensive perspective, what sort of spark does Tommy give you guys?
Oh my gosh, he keeps us on the bench. He keeps us off the field. Tommy's great. I tell that guy every day, you know, before the game, you know, go lead. He's a born leader. The dude is a true freshman in the playoffs, making the plays that he's making, like, unreal. Like, have nothing but love for the guy. And again, like, he's this good as a freshman. So when he's a senior, you know, just look out.
Thanks, Dan. How important was the start for you guys to be able to get the turnovers and then capitalize those into points to jump out in front early?
You know, very important. That's, I mean, when it's drawn up on paper, that's exactly how it's supposed to go. You know, 3 and out, turnover, whatever it is. Get the ball back to the offense, you know, stay off the field as much as possible. So, you know, executing the game plan and you know, putting them in that sort of position where they, you know, kind of turn them into a one-dimensional team. So I thought it was really good, and, you know, that's how we plan to approach other teams as well.
Everybody rolling here, good. All right, Coach, if you could start with some opening thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's November of 2019. It's the last time I had to get up in front of a group and talk about a loss. What an amazing run. I told the guys downstairs that, I mean, we did something historic. I mean, 21 straight wins in one calendar year, 2 training camps, a national championship. Just mind-boggling. And we lost to a really good football team. I mean, a really good, well-coached team that made more plays than we did. You know, we knew they were going to run the ball at us, and then they beat us on 50-50 balls. And, you know, we had 3 turnovers, things that you can't do if you're going to, you know, win. But the thing I love is that we came back out second half and we got a score and we started to get back in it. And I'm not a guy that uses analytics, but the analytics told me to go for 2, and I kept on saying, "You sure we're going for 2 here, down by 28?" But no, really, you know, I talked to the team. I said, we lost to a really good team, but for the first time on Wednesday, I could see us start to peter out. We didn't finish a practice, and it was just so noticeable because how well we've practiced for this long a period of time. You'd walk off the field every day and we practiced pretty well today, didn't we? And it just was constant. It's like we always were practicing at a very high level. And just on Wednesday, I saw a little dip off, and I saw it in the locker room coming out today. We played with a lot of emotion, a lot of energy, and we just were ticked behind. We just weren't quite there. And so I think we lost to a really good team that executed much better than we did. But I do think we ran out of gas. I think it finally caught up to us. And that's what I kept on telling our players in every team meeting. You don't lose if we don't make mental mistakes. You don't lose if we can keep ourselves healthy. And so we really worked hard in the weight room. We really worked hard in the training. We really worked hard getting in the tubs and doing all those little things you need to do to keep yourselves able to keep on playing. But again, I think we ran into a buzzsaw in a team that played and executed at a high level and is very talented. And also you saw us, you know, at the end of 22 games, and it showed, I think. Questions?
Specifically about the defense, was it kind of that gap soundness that you talked about over the week, or was it there other things?
They're just so well coached, and they fit everything so well. I thought they did a great job game planning us. They threw some wrinkles at us, you know, some zone stuff inside the 3-yard line for some of the 2-point conversions that we normally get man to man, and so they did a good job, you know, showing some things and then getting out of them, you know, some disguising. They're great tacklers. They really are outstanding tacklers. And that's just a really good football team on defense. Offensively, you know, they were who we thought they were going to be, except they threw the ball better than we thought. You know, we thought, hey, we're going to play cover zero. You know, we'll take, you know, our corners on their wideouts and their inexperienced quarterback. And he became a full-grown ass man against us this week. I mean, he really threw the ball well. So, yeah, that's a good football team. That's going to be a hell of a game next week. It really is. You know, we know firsthand how good South Dakota State is, and that's a good football team.
Coach, you mentioned the lull in practice on Wednesday, and then you go down by 21 early today. Just how much, do you think that deflated the team quick?
Yeah, well, like I said, and Wednesday, I mean, we have such a high standard when it comes to practice. You know, my standard is if a college coach sits in the stadium and watches us practice, is he going to walk away saying that that's the best team in the country? That's our standard. And if he's not going to walk away saying that's the best team in the country, then that we didn't practice well enough. So it wasn't like I think anyone else would really notice the drop off, but we didn't finish practice as strong as we typically do. And it was just so unusual because we've been so good. And I could just see, you know, just a little bit of the energy today, you know. And down 21 and you know, we actually down 28, we come back and get 6, and then we come back and we score again. And we had some things going. We had them pinned down the 1 yard line. We just couldn't get a stop. We had our opportunities to get back in it, but we just couldn't finish things off. Anytime you lose the turnover battle 3-0, you're going to lose like 80% or 90% of your ball games. Just couldn't lose that turnover battle. You know, we couldn't create any turnovers, which was disappointing also. We thought with a young quarterback, maybe he'd make some mistakes. He played like a veteran. He played really well.
His ability to throw the ball down the field, that wasn't really on film until
Yeah.
it happened live. So was that hard to prepare for, or I guess, I mean, what did you think of
Well,
that?
and that's one of the reasons we thought we were able to go cover zero. You know, just press him and make him throw, you know, those 50-50 balls. And we come down with a lot of 50-50 balls. I mean, I got corners going to be a draft choice. He's playing one of the big all-star games. And those guys came down with some 50-50 balls over top of our guys. So, yeah, I think all around it was a combination of how good they are, how well they played, and then also the fact that this has been a long season. And, you know, when you think about the 22 games or whatever it's been, you also have to add in 2 training camps. So, I mean, we've been doing this for a long, and it's not a year, it's been a 9-month period. So a 9-month period, we've played 22 games, and we've been 2 training camps. Well, that's a lot of football. It is. And I think finally it caught up to us. And again, that's not an excuse because that's a really good football team we lost to. But just I'm telling you, from our perspective, watching my team play for 22 games in a 9-month period, I saw a different team out there today.
I know you don't play every team, but where do you think this Montana State defense could stack up, I guess?
Oh, yeah, as good as any of the ones that are still playing right now. Absolutely. They're just so sound. Not only schematically, but just in terms of all their techniques are just so sound. And their defensive line gave us a lot of problems. And you know, I think they did a good job. You know, some of their zone coverages and gave Eric some problems. And again, you know, threw 3 picks, which is, you know, typically not what you see from Eric.
Games in 2 training camps and 9
Yeah,
months.
you know, it like Ife said, it's the brotherhood. This is such a close team. I can't even describe how close this team is. And all the things we went through, you know, we went through, you know, down 21 points against James Madison and coming back and winning. And we won a national championship together. And just so many things that we've battled through together. You know, we went through the murder of George Floyd and all the racial injustice and how our team handled that, you know, with a lot of black and brown players, us having some really difficult discussions about race in our society. All that stuff is all, we went without a locker room. We played a whole season without a locker room. We played a whole season without meeting space. You know, we had to dig ourselves out. It took us 4 days to dig ourselves out of that historic snowstorm. You know, there's no shovels. There's no snow shovels in Huntsville, Texas. There's feed shovels. So we got feed shovels. And we went out so there's just so many things that ring that we got for winning that. There's so many things that you'll remember from this calendar year. It was amazing. And you don't want to end it this way. But if we're going to end it, I'm okay losing to a really good football team. I mean, that's a really good football team, and don't be surprised if they do some damage.
Ife Adeyi, go ahead and start with questions. Colton, you want to get us started?
You know, the team just kind of wasn't struggled tonight on offense a little bit. Just was there something the defense was doing to kind of throw y'all off?
Not necessarily. You know, the D line kept getting to the quarterback, and we had turnovers. We lost the turnover battle. It's kind of hard to win a game losing the turnover battle. So, I mean, they threw what we expected at them.
And then
what was kind of the scouting report? What had you known about them going into this game?
We knew their front seven was pretty good. You knew their defense was pretty good. You know, they don't disguise a lot. What you see is what you're gonna get. At the end of the day, we didn't execute to the best of our ability.
You scored that long touchdown right after halftime. Did you feel like you guys got a little momentum there? And then how deflating was it when they have the 99-yard drive to answer?
Yeah, there was a little bit of momentum. You can hear the crowd. You know, the crowd was helping us put us back into the game, and then, you know, them ending up with the score, it kind of hurts. But at the end of the day, we just have to keep our head in the game.
Did you guys feel like maybe the 23 games this year finally caught up with you tonight?
One thing our coach always said was the only way we lose is if we don't take care of our bodies or we make mistakes mentally. And I feel like honestly that was, you know, I feel like the 23 games probably did catch up to us, but at the end of the day we can't use that as an excuse, because as football players you got to take care of your body, take care of your classwork and everything like that.
What will you remember from these 23 games in one calendar year?
Man, a lot of people would think that I would think about like the streak or this and that. Nah, but it's gonna be the brotherhood. Like, man, all them seniors, like, that's family for real. I'm gonna have a lot of them. I'm gonna hit a lot of them up. We're gonna go out to eat, everything like that. But it's gonna be the brotherhood, the love of this team. Like, we're a family. We're more than a team.